We just eliminated a Kartana so easily. What's up, boys and girls? James back here, and today we're finally going to be able to dabble in some Series 7 VGC on the ranked ladder. Yes, Series 7 is finally out on the Pokemon Sword and Shield ladder, and today we're going to be trying out one of the new dresses that came out in the Crown Tundra with Spectrier. We got the Spectrier rental code team that'll be available for 2 weeks while this video is being uploaded. So yeah, make sure you grab it right here. Yeah, try out the code, 2 weeks to grab it while you can. Otherwise, there is a paste spin down below in the description if you do want to try it out. And yeah, a few things you can do to help me out if you do enjoy these kinds of videos. If you aren't subscribed, be sure to subscribe because it really does help out. You get a lot of good content here, VGC high level content. If you don't know, I'm a 2020 international champion and 3rd place at the most recent world championship back in 2019, if that's to give you anything. And yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Double check if you think you are, because sometimes YouTube unsubscribes you. Leave a like down below, as it really does help me out. And yeah, you can also leave a comment down below for the algorithm as well. And again, try out the rental code as well as the payment. And if you want more content from me, check out my second YouTube channel and check out the rest of the content that I provide on this channel. But otherwise, yeah, we're going to be using the Spectrier team for this week, and we'll see how it goes. Feel free to try it out, but let us begin with today's video. Today's common question is going to be, what is your favorite new Pokemon in the Crown Tundra that you enjoy? Whether it's one of the new Galarian birds, maybe it's one of the new additions from the old games, like maybe like Nidoqueen or Nidoking. Let me know in the comments down below, as there are a lot of Pokemon I really enjoy that came back in Crown Tundra. I really do like me some Salamence. I really do like Nidoqueen. I think it's a fun Pokemon to use in competitive. And when we're comparing for the new forms, I'd probably say my favorite, at least competitive wise, I want to say it's probably Glastrier. It's a really fun ice type. It's really strong. And yeah, I think it's a really cool Pokemon. We got our first opponent with a pretty... This looks like it might have been an old series team, like in the Isle of Armor, except it has a Celesteela, Tyranitar, Gastrodon, Arcanine, very old core, with Porygon 2, a Whimsicott, and Celesteela. So I'm a bit interested on what this team is going to go. It seems like a really bulky team. You see that Gastrodon, Arcanine, and the Celesteela, as well as Porygon 2, is going to be very, very bulky and hard to deal with. It doesn't have the greatest wall breaker answers for my Spectrier other than Tyranitar. If I can get a Spectrier set up, it sounds pretty good. My Loda can hard punish a lot of the tools on my opponent's team overall. I don't have the best Porygon answers, which is the concerning part, because I am not good against Porygon. So, let's see. I like my Milotic here. I think my Milotic, you know, pressures that Arcanine, which really pressures probably my Rillaboom. I like either Incineroar Milotic as a lead, or I like the Rillaboom Milotic as a lead. I think I'm going to lead Incineroar for that Intimidate against Celesteela. I think it puts on a lot of pressure with Parting Shot 2 with our Rillaboom. And then have Rillaboom and Spectrier in the back. I don't think I need Totodile in this game. I can break the Celesteela just fine with my Spectrier. The thing is, I'm going to have to really do well against the Tyranitar. Tyranitar is the scariest Pokemon on this team, especially if it's able to set up a weakness policy boost. So yeah, the goal of this game, it looks like it will be to take down that Tyranitar so Spectrier can set up. So let's see how this is going to go. We got a Porygon 2 Gastrodon lead, which isn't that great for me, realistically, but it's not, like, terrible. We will lead our Incineroar here next to my Milotic. I wonder how fast this Gastrodon is, because I'm pretty sure Incineroar might be still able to outspeed the Gastrodon, even if it's neutral speed nature, but I'm not 100% certain. I do like getting some chip onto the Porygon, I think, which is nice with Ice Beam, because I can deal with Gastrodon using my Grassy Glide. And I think I want a Parting Shot here. Question is, who do I want a Parting Shot into? I think it's Porygon once again. Did Porygon get the download boost? It got an attack. Oh, is it not download? I guess it's not download. Maybe analytics. So I'm going to Ice Beam and Parting Shot the Porygon, especially since Porygon doesn't usually carry Protect. So I think this is fine. No Dynamax is going to come out. Ice Beam is going to chip away the Porygon just for a decent amount, actually. Thunderbolt going to come out into Milo, which isn't too bad. I can recover off the damage. And Gastrodon shouldn't be able to pick up a knockout. Earth Power going to come out, so it is faster. Okay. That's a really solid amount to Incineroar. Unfortunately, 1 HP. Oh, wait, no. I think I thought it was a Figgy Berry set. No, it was a Citrus Berry set. So I take a lot with Incineroar, which isn't ideal, but I don't think it's too bad because I think I'm in a really good position here coming up with my Rillaboom. Because they're switching to Rillaboom is 1 out of 2 Pokemon. It's going to be Celesteela or it's going to be the... It's going to be Celesteela or it's going to be the Arcanine. And I think you only have 1 of the 2 in the back. I think you have to have Tyranitar in the back. If you don't have Tyranitar, it makes the game a lot easier. But I'd be very surprised if you didn't have it. So we'll go out in a Rillaboom here. And I think we just click Fake Out into the Porygon. Maybe a Wood Hammer. And I do like recovering here. I could also just like Wood Hammer plus... Wood Hammer Muddy Water doesn't seem bad. I just don't think Gastrodon stays in. And that damage on Porygon is going to be really important. If Arcanine comes in, my Milotic's powered up and Arcanine goes down. If you go into Celesteela, I get a big Wood Hammer and Muddy Water off into Porygon. And I think that's good for my Spectrier because setting up for my Spectrier is definitely important here. Especially since I'm not too worried about Gastrodon with Spectrier. So yeah, I think I'll just go for this play regardless. Like, I don't think Gastrodon should stay in, maybe protect at the worst case. I think you always should switch out the Gastrodon. Unless it's Arcanine in the back, then you protect. But yeah, if it's Tyranitar in the back, it would be tough for my opponent. We're actually going to see it protect, which is best case scenario because they don't get the Storm Drain boost. And I'm guaranteed to get a good hit off into Porygon and maybe Grassy Glide next turn and threaten it, which is really nice. So we are going to be able to get a Muddy Water off. I'm assuming that the back Pokemon at this point is going to be that Celesteela and the Arcanine. So get an accuracy drop, which is nice. Here comes a Grassy Glide. I mean, a Wood Hammer into Porygon. Almost picks up the knockout. Trick Room might come out or Ice Beam. It is going to be Trick Room, which is fine because I can Grassy Glide the Porygon here. And yeah, Grassy Glide is looking very good because it just hits that Porygon very nicely. And I kind of want a Muddy Water here, the Gastrodon, because there could be a switch from Gastrodon into... would you switch is the question though? I could just Ice Beam the Gastrodon, or I could recover the damage off. Maybe recovering the damage isn't a bad play here. Yeah, recovering damage isn't too bad. But I don't think you would attack with the Gastrodon is a thing. But I think I recover anyway. I don't think I need the immediate damage off into like a switch in my opponent could do. And Grassy Glide will definitely knock out Porygon. If they switch out to Porygon, it's a fine position. They're actually going to Dynamax here. So I'm guessing that's Gastrodon, which is really interesting. So, because I don't know if they're able to pick up a knockout here, unless it's maybe Hailstorm from Gastrodon, which means it doesn't have Recover, which means it's a lot easier to handle. And definitely I'm okay with taking a Gastrodon, for instance, instead of like dealing with a Dynamax Tyranitar, since I have a hard time dealing with Tyranitar. Of course, Hailstorm is going to be a bit annoying, but we'll see here. No Ally Switch either. It would have been funny if the Ally Switch came out because that would have probably been the best case scenario. But we're able to eliminate Porygon, which means no recovery, which is cool. And it does reveal Hailstorm. Okay, so it's Protect, Ice Beam, Earth Power, and you want to assume a Water move. So Rillaboom able to take that too, which is really nice because of the fact that with the grassy terrain, negates the hail damage. We won't go down to it. We still have a Rillaboom to deal with the Gastrodon, and I don't think the Ice Beam damage again really matters as long as I keep my Rillaboom around. So I'm very happy about this position here. So, but the problem is though, what is coming out from my opponent's end. I do really want to set up with Spectrier. I think if there is Tyranitar in the back, you definitely go into Tyranitar. The question is, what do you go for afterward, right? Do you go for the Protect, or do you just go for like a Rock Slide, for instance? And I guess we'll see what comes out from my opponent. I'm assuming my opponent always clicks like Max Quake into the Rillaboom slot because it covers a lot of switches, right? Because I don't have a good switch other than maybe Togekiss. Arcanine comes out, which is an interesting play here. I guess because one, I have Muddy Water, but that works out beautifully for me. So I think I just go Incineroar here. And yeah, I think my suspicion is correct. It's probably Tyranitar in the back too. So I'll go for the Mud Shot here. I don't really care about the speed drop on Arcanine. I might knock it out because I am Expert Belt +2 and just go Incineroar here. Even though I know I'm probably going to get sacked here to a Max Quake, because I think they should go for Max Quake always into Rillaboom, because it would KO Rillaboom that range unless they want to KO to Protect. But I don't think I don't think it makes sense for me to switch in Kiss when they revealed Hailstorm, but we'll see here. We're going to see the Arcanine Protect here. Oh, Extreme Speed actually. Okay. That's even better for me. I get to keep a Pokemon. Here comes a Max Quake. I guess they are able to get a special defense boost with Arcanine, so they'll be able to live this upcoming attack. But hey, I don't mind that too much. We also learned that my Incineroar was actually slower than the Gastrodon the previous turn, and we can confirm it this turn with the Grassy, with the hail damage. So this is pretty good. Mudshot going to come out of Arcanine. An okay amount. It's not the best amount, but it's an okay amount. And I think we could easily just go out and yeah, Incineroar is actually slower than the Gastrodon, which means it's faster in Trick Room, which is excellent. Hail damage is going to come out all around. Grassy terrain healing as well. I think it's a very easy parting shot into Gastrodon here, into Spectrier actually, because if it is Tyranitar in the back, I definitely want to keep Rillaboom around. It is my best way to handle it. I could Dynamax Milotic here, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary. You want to click Snarl here. I'm assuming you're going to Extreme Speed Max Quake the Milotic slot potentially. I think that would be your play here. I do want to keep Milotic, I think, healthy as much as possible, especially since it's the last turn Dynamax for the Gastrodon here. So I am going to parting shot the Gastrodon. I'm not too worried about the Arcanine and the Gastrodon here, as there is stay in. Okay. No Extreme Speed. No Protects. We are able to get parting shot off into Gastrodon. Absolutely huge. Please don't crit me. We will be able to go out into our Spectrier, because if they Snarl, they just activate my competitive boost with Milotic, so it's completely fine if they do that. And I get my Grassy Seed boost, and I can nasty plot up the upcoming turn, which I think is really cool. So get that boost with Spectrier, as let's see what my opponent does. Going to be that Max Quake once again into Incineroar, or is into Milotic? Is into the Incineroar slot. Okay. That's a pretty good amount, even with the boost, or with the parting shot special attack drop. But you know what? It's okay here, as we're going to see a Wild Charge actually come out. Okay. We are able to survive that. Okay. And get the recover off. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So that's a very nice recover, and I feel like I could just recover again, realistically. I don't see a problem with this. If they want to double up my Milotic, I don't think that's too bad for me. I get the free nasty plot up with Spectrier. I could Dynamax on my Milotic this turn if I really want to. And I might want to, because Dynamax Milo sounds really good against the rest of the team. Because if they, let's say, go for Earth Power, Wild Charge, double up into Milotic, I'm able to survive that. I KO the Arcanine in retaliation, and I think I'm in a really solid position. So, yeah. Grassy terrain does end, which is completely fine. Dynamax is over for the Gastrodon. We did stall out those turns correctly, and now we're in a pretty good spot. I don't know what they could really do here. It is the last turn of Trick Room. I pretty much just can go for, I think, a free Max Quake into Arcanine here. And I think I'm gonna nasty plot, because I either, like, you know, I have so many good positions right here. They have to double up a slot to pick my knockout flare, but it's definitely not KOing my Spectrier with the Intimidate on Arcanine, as well as the Grassy Seed boost. They have to double up a slot. Not even sure if Earth Power into Flare Blitz actually will KO. We're gonna see the Gastrodon retreat, which is completely fine. Probably Tyranitar. Yep, it had to be Tyranitar as the last Pokemon. So kind of what we expected here, which is excellent, because I am gonna be able to maybe just knock out. I might actually be able to go for a Mudshot Max Quake double up into Tyranitar and win the game. So we'll see here, as I will be able to Dynamax on my Milotic right here. And yeah, this is looking very solid. Spectrier in the end game actually looking like it might be able to clean up. So we will go for the Dynamax Milotic here on Wild Charge, I'd say. I'd assume Wild Charge. But if it's Flare Blitz, it's okay too. Yeah, it's Wild Charge. So we're able to take that very comfortably, as you can see. We would have lived an Earth Power Wild Charge to double up. And now we're going to be able to get a Quake boost with our Spectrier, which is cool because it allows us to live like a Gastrodon attack guaranteed. We're able to knock out the Arcanine. Excellent. And we get a Nasty Plot boost, which is perfect, because now I can go for a Mudshot and a Max Quake double up in Tyranitar. And I'm not really worried about Gastrodon. He can't do anything. I have a Rillaboom in the back. Regardless, like, I just double up the Tyranitar, as we do plot up with our Spectrier. And yeah, it's looking pretty bad for them right now, I want to say. So it's been a bit of a long battle, but hey, we got to play this. We got to find our positions where we could wall break. And, you know, we weren't able to eliminate the Tyranitar because my opponent didn't bring it out. But getting rid of Porygon was very nice right away, and stalling out the Trick Room turns efficiently. As you saw, they couldn't really wall break through my team. There might have been some moments where they could have capitalized, but right now, yeah, they're just in a really rough spot. So as long as I don't miss Mudshot, I guarantee the game. And even if I miss Mudshot, I think I still win the game. especially depending on speed tiers. Gastrodon protects, which is completely fine because they expecting, I guess, Shadow Ball and Gastrodon to max water or max geyser into the Tyranitar. But hey, who needs that when I could just go for a +2 mud shot, which actually didn't do that much to Tyranitar. That's a very bulky Tyranitar. But I don't think you're living the max quake from a +2 Milotic right here. And with that speed drop, I'm guaranteed to outspeed this Tyranitar and get that max quake off and eliminate the Tyranitar. And ooh, I hope Spectrier is able to KO the Gastrodon with Shadow Ball just straight throughout. And yeah, this is the point of the bulky Spectrier. I think it's probably the better set out of the Spectrier sets you could run. I guess support's okay, but I don't really like the support set too much. I think with the Grassy Seeds setup, I think it offers the best options, or like where Spectrier gets to shine the most. And yeah, we could go for a max quake here into a Shadow Ball, and I'm hoping Shadow Ball KOs. I'm hoping Shadow Ball KOs. Please don't forfeit. I would love to see just how much Shadow Ball does. Although I'm not sure this KOs, but we'll see. Gastrodon's decently bulky. Yeah, decently bulky, and I don't have like max investment on Spectrier, but hey, that's a really solid amount of damage. If I was able to get one of the KOs with Spectrier, I would have been +3 and just obliterated my opponent's team. Is max quake going to come out? Is this even knock out Gastrodon? Probably should. Yeah. As that is going to be a good game. So overall was able to basically, I think the turn where I was able to get the Porygon was really solid there. Yes, I took a lot of damage with Incineroar, but I wasn't worried too much. I didn't think they would Dynamax turn one there. And I felt like overall I was able to get into a position where like I threatened the Porygon that I needed. I was able to stall out the Trick Room. That was, you know, a bit concerning because Tyranitar and Trick Room could have been an option, but I never really gave them that opportunity. They were always playing on the defensive side. Could have been interesting though if they went into Tyranitar. I would have definitely had to change the game plan, but yeah, super solid game overall. But yeah, if you do enjoy that kind of battles, be sure to check out my Twitch channel where I do live stream on Twitch. You can ask me VGC questions and all that down there as well. And of course, if you want to check out more content from me, there is my second YouTube channel, which I'll list in the description down below. But yeah, we got our second opponent right here, which is going to be Chow, I don't know. We have Glastrier. Ooh, Kartana too. Oh, which Urshifu's that? I feel like it's a dark Urshifu. It's actually a very scary matchup. I like Incineroar. The problem is Politoed, obviously, but at least I have Rillaboom. It's kind of weird. This matchup is strange. It's really going to depend on what kind of Urshifu set that is. Dark Urshifu is very scary for my team. Let's see. Who do I like and who do I not like? The question, I guess, is if I like Togekiss, because I think Togekiss is really good. But the problem is, yeah, it's going to be hard. I feel like the 4 Pokemon I want to bring are Spectrier, Rillaboom, Incineroar, Milotic, because I'm a little bit weak to Kartana. I'm going to rely on Spectrier to handle Kartana, I think. Yeah, I'm going to rely on Spectrier. I think I'm going to lead Incineroar or Spectrier. The reason I don't want to lead Spectrier is because Urshifu. Right. I think Milotic, actually. Yeah, Milotic Instant might be fine here. Rillaboom and Spectrier in the back. I need Rillaboom for the Politoed. The problem is I'm boosting up Kartana, which is a concern. It's a very tough matchup, it looks like. I'm not very fond of this matchup because I think the combination of Kartana with Urshifu is going to be really threatening for my team. But hey, we'll try to play around it. If we can, let's say, eliminate the Urshifu, I feel very confident in Spectrier being able to do something in this matchup. So we'll see how this goes. Rotom Kartana. Okay, perfect. That's a fine combination for me. Burning Jealousy. Maybe Dynamax to Milo immediately, because I'd rather have offensive pressure against the Rotom. Problem is if they Dynamax here. I don't know if like... Like, I feel like I don't need my Dynamax for the game to win. I really do want to get rid of Rotom, because Rotom's really good against Rillaboom and Incineroar, and potentially my Spectrier. So you know what? Yeah, I think maxing immediately is the play. I think I'm going to go for that, and I think I'm Burning Jealousy. I'm going to Burn Jealousy. In case Kartana decides to Dynamax. Although I don't think he would airstream in this position, so maybe I should just parting shot. Kartana can't knock out my Lodic at this range. I don't know if a double up will. I really want to get rid of that Rotom though. Rotom's a bit scary. And I don't want to not Dynamax because I feel like I'm in a terrible position if I don't. No Dynamax from the Kartana. So I wonder if Rotom Dynamaxes or no Dynamax at all. If I'm able to get rid of that, let's say if I'm... The problem is dealing with Urshifu is still going to be a pain. I don't like how the Urshifu matchup is going to look like, but we'll see. We could be having a rough position here. We're going to see Kartana Protect. Oh, okay. It'd be funny if it's a nasty plot here. What were you expecting as a switch? Maybe they're trying to catch Togedemaru. I guess that might be fair. If they tried to catch Togedemaru. Yeah, I guess they were worried about me switching to Togedemaru and I guess going for a 5 movement Kartana, which I guess is a fair play. So that's pretty good. I'm able to get rid of Rotom immediately. And yeah, the problem is they get to bring out Urshifu, which I'm not a huge fan of. Or they go Kiss. I do have Expert Belt. Yeah, I'm going to Hailstorm actually and Burning Jealousy. I might be able to pick up 2 knockouts here, especially on Kartana. And I think that's the play because if Togekiss Dynamax, you want to assume Airstream is going to come out. And the Kartana stays in. I don't know if a double up knocks out Incineroar. I do have a lot of physical bulk, so I'll take the Sacred Sword very well. I just don't know how much I'll take from the Airstream. I think it depends on like whether this Togekiss is like a Crit Kiss, for instance. But yeah. We do see a Dynamax here, and I think that is Kartana. But I could be mistaken. It might be Togekiss, but I feel like it might be Kartana. It is Kartana, okay. So if it goes for Max Overgrow, I'll be completely fine personally, because I changed the weather to Hailstorm. So like Burn Jealousy is still going to do a ton of damage to Kartana. So let's see. Follow me. Okay, they do follow me. I guess they forgot about the Burn Jealousy that I did earlier. Maybe wasn't worried about it in the rain. Hey, Knuckle. Luckily, I'm a physically defensive Incineroar, but that's... I wouldn't say that was optimal. They saw the Burning Jealousy I did the previous turn. I'm able to get a Hailstorm off. This might even knock out Togekiss, depending on its spread. Yeah, I'm able to knock out the Togekiss thanks to my Expert Belt. And now I have a single target Burning Jealousy into the Kartana. And yeah, we will guarantee burn it if it survives. And it takes burn and hail. Oh, is it Sash? It is Sash, but guaranteed burn, guaranteed hail damage. We just eliminated a Kartana so easily, and that is not what you wanted to do there in that position at all. But yeah, now they're in a really rough spot. I guess they didn't bring Politoed. I mean, I guess some of the choices were interesting. Don't know if he needed Togekiss in the matchup. We're gonna see Glastrier. Wow, no Urshifu brought is really curious to me. Maybe they were too worried about dealing with my Togekiss, but I felt like they had decent answers to my Togekiss. I guess not next to the Togedemaru though. My Togedemaru was stopping that Rotom from doing damage to it. And what am I gonna do? I guess I'm gonna Max Quake and I mean, I think my best play is just a parting shot here. Because I don't think Max Quake Flare Blitz KOs anyway. But the battle's going to be forfeited regardless. Bit of an interesting second game. I think maybe my opponent just didn't have the best game plan. I think Urshifu was definitely something that was very scary for me. But luckily they just didn't bring it. So it made the matchup way, way easier than I thought. I think they probably tried to catch the Togedemaru. Let's see their team now. Citrus Berry Politoed, Helping Hand, Ice Beam, and Muddy Water. It is Choice Band Urshifu with Protect. Maybe they wanted Max Guard, I guess. That Urshifu could have been so terrifying though. That would have done so much to my Milotic. If they let Kartana Urshifu, I was very scared for my life. The weakness policy on Glastrier. Okay. Choice Scarf Rotom. Okay, that's why they went for Dark Pulse. They were locked into it, so I guess they really were committing on the Togedemaru switch, which I guess is a fair play. Scope Lens Togekiss. Yeah, it wasn't bulky at all. It's actually max special attack and speed, which is why I went down to Hailstorm. and the Sash Cortana that we saw. But yeah, okay, it makes a bit more sense. I still think Urshifu would have been better in that matchup, but maybe my opponent didn't realize it. But hope everyone enjoyed today's episode of VGC 2020 Baek Battles. It's gonna be the first episode of Series 7, and we got plenty more to come. If you did enjoy this kind of content, again, be sure to leave a like down below, as it really does help out my channel. And while you're down there, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because it really does help. Apparently, like, I think now usage stats wise, it's like 40% of my audience that watches my videos doesn't subscribe to the channel or isn't subscribed to the channel. So if you do watch my videos consistently, be sure to subscribe. And if you do want more awesome VGC content, yeah, why not? You can join my awesome community Discord. If you want to try out the team, there is a rental code as well as a payment linked in the description down below. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you have a good day, people, and until we bow again, I'll catch y'all later.